Hiya, Mr. Jones here. What I've done today, I've started with our answers for yesterday's maths. So if you'd like to just mark them yourselves, just a bit like we do it in class sometimes. Obviously, you won't have your purple pen. But if you just mark them, but then before you send them over and take a photo of them, that'd be great. It would also enable me to just focus on any problems or any questions that we have in particular problems with. So if you can just mark it yourself, then send me the photos, and then I can have a look and see if there's any areas where we need a bit of support. Okay, that is our obviously Unit 8. What I've also done is I've given everyone access to the practice books. A bit like the book club book, you will see the actual book available, which the questions are on. Okay, so I'm just going to start with fluency first. It shouldn't take us long. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. So it's just writing them down quick, remembering and making these numbers 10 times bigger. So because the decimal system is about multiplying and dividing by 10. So just a quick fluency first part. If you want to pause at any time, pause that. That's our fluency first. Okay, so here, there it is. Okay, so what is our target today? It's to measure a range of objects using the appropriate unit of measurement. Deepen thinking by problem solving, so they can help Bella measure a range of objects. So that's what we're doing today. Okay. So here we go. Okay, so it's on Discover, Share, Think Together. It's on practice book page 89. Like I said, I've already given everyone access to that book, but I've also kept it on the video. So if you need to, you can a screenshot video, so you can Okay, so let's have a look at what we're doing today. Okay, so basically what we're looking at is so what we're doing first is we're looking at measurements. How long are the centipede and ants? Okay, we can see it's quite easy to measure the centipede. Centipede's here. Centipede's there, and the ants here. Okay, with our worm, it's more difficult because we're trying to measure it in the in-between. Where's it best to start from? It's always best to start from the 0. So we'd move the ruler to our worm there to measure it. So first up, the centipede, we can see it is 5 centimeters long. Use the centimeters, it's bang on centimeters. Okay. The ant is shorter than 1 centimeter. So are we going to use centimeters, or would we go down to millimeters? It would probably be best to go to millimeters. So what we need to do, we need to think about how low. We need to measure this, and it's about 7 millimeters. Okay, so the centipede is exactly 5 centimeters. Our ant is 7 millimeters long. Okay, the worm, if we put that on, is 2.7 centimeters. Yeah? Or we could say 2.7 or 27 millimeters. We're going to use 27 millimeters. So let's go on to our next slide. Raise those. And also make my screen slightly bigger. Okay, so let's have a look. First up, how long is the snail in millimeters? We've got greater than 10 millimeters. And really closely, how many do you think? I would say, have a look. Give you a few minutes to have a look at that. I would say that is 13 millimeters long. Really doing it accurately, I'd use a ruler, straight line, and as you can see, it's starting from the 0. So it's 13 millimeters long. Okay, we've now got the insect. The grasshopper, we can say use two different units. Okay, is 30 millimeters. Or we can say that our grasshopper is 3 centimeters. If it's exactly 3 centimeters, I would say measure it in centimeters. The question might ask you to measure it in millimeters. But in this instance, unit is centimeters. So we know that 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. So therefore, 1, 2, 3 centimeters. Okay, our ladybird here, accurately again, no. 1, 2, 3, 4 millimeters. Okay, so we've got 4 millimeters for our ladybird. Okay, what I would like you to do then is to get a ruler. Using a ruler, measure a line exactly 3 centimeters long, or 30 millimeters long. Then also try and do a little line 4 millimeters long. Okay, so let's have a look at the next question. Max has measured the blue line. He says it is 27 millimeters long. Do you agree? Explain how you could work out the length. So, I think. Okay, so then we need to measure, I've got a ruler on me, to just measure these lines in millimeters, in centimeters, and then this line in centimeters and millimeters. Alternatively, if you don't have access to measuring these lines on screen, just draw 3 random lines and do exactly the same thing. Okay, so that's another option you can do. Okay, so measuring is all about being accurate. And there's need to be accurate, because whenever you measure in real life situations, you might be putting up a set of shelves, you might be measuring carpet. It's really important that you're accurate with your measurement. The key is to think about the units you're using, millimeters, centimeters. You're measuring longer pieces of material. Okay. So remember again that 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. There are 100 centimeters in a meter and 1,000 millimeters in a meter. Okay, slide. Okay. Millimeter, the thickness of a coin. Remember that. I think I put on my original slide it's about the thickness of a penny. So again, about the thickness of a 5p coin, the millimeter. So it's much smaller. It's 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. Okay, so there's the next one. Okay, so we've had a look at that. Again, when we're measuring, it is very much about hands-on experience and actually doing the measurements yourself and thinking very much about what units you're using and whether it's relevant. So here, I have got a page from our practice book. This is the page from our practice book. What we need to do is to always start at 0. So you're going to measure how big the toy car is. Then you can measure pencil. And remember to give it in the correct units. Really important when we use the correct units. Okay, so millimeters, centimeters, and then really be accurate with this type of question. I'll leave these up for a bit of a screenshot. Okay, again, you can access the practice book. Okay. Learning, log into Bugs Club. I think I'm pretty sure that everyone's managing to do that. You'll see that you've been allocated practice book B, which has got these questions in pages 88 and 89. Okay, I'll just make this a bit bigger. Okay, so here is page 90 and page 91. Hopefully, you can have a good go at those questions. Remember always to start at 0 when we're measuring. Also, remember to use the correct unit, dependent on what the question is asking. Okay, year 3. Really look forward to receiving your work. Again, what we'll do is we'll do the same thing tomorrow. I will give you the answers tomorrow at the start of the lesson, and then we'll go from there. Okay, to the next lesson, 3. Okay, so I hope everyone's staying safe and everyone's having a good time learning. I'm really loving seeing all your work, all the great photos. I love seeing the photos of everyone measuring different objects. So keep those coming in. It's really important that we know that you're accessing your learning and you're sending it in for us to double check and mark, and then we give you feedback as a team of teachers, team of staff. So keep well, everybody. Really impressed with everyone's work so far. Let's keep it up and see you tomorrow, year 3.